A man publicly humiliated his wife at an extravagant anniversary dinner by throwing a cake in her face when she refused to pay the bill. But what followed next shocked everyone. Subscribe to the channel and write in the comments where you're watching us from to follow this gripping story of betrayal, resilience, and empowerment. The story begins in New Orleans, where Amanda Turner, a distinguished journalist known for her fearless reporting, first met Ethan Cole. Amanda was no stranger to the glitz and glamour of high society events. With her sharp mind and a passion for uncovering the truth, she had made a name for herself in the male-dominated world of investigative journalism. Yet, behind the accolades and professional success, Amanda carried the weight of always being seen as the daughter of the Turner legacy, a label she despised but could never quite shake. One evening, at a prestigious charity gala hosted at the iconic Crescent Ballroom, Amanda's world collided with Ethan's. Dressed in an elegant emerald gown that highlighted her radiant confidence, Amanda was mingling with fellow journalists and art enthusiasts when Ethan approached her. His presence was magnetic, his tailored suit impeccable, and his confidence unwavering. "Miss Turner," he said, flashing a charming smile as he extended his hand. "Ethan Cole, entrepreneur and admirer of good journalism. I couldn't help but notice you." Intrigued by his directness, Amanda responded with her trademark wit. What began as a casual introduction turned into a captivating conversation. Ethan spoke passionately about his tech startup and his dreams of creating tools to empower underserved communities. Amanda, inspired by his vision, shared her journey of battling stereotypes and breaking barriers in journalism. For the first time in years, Amanda felt genuinely seen, not as an extension of her family's wealth, but as the driven, independent woman she truly was. Over the following weeks, Ethan seemed to sweep Amanda off her feet. His romantic gestures were grand: surprise dinner reservations at exclusive restaurants, handwritten letters, and long conversations about their future. Even Amanda's closest friend Sophia remarked, "He seems perfect. You're glowing." Amanda. But not everyone was charmed. Amanda's father, a shrewd businessman, was wary. "Amanda, don't let charm blind you. Ambition isn't always pure," he cautioned during a dinner at the Turner estate. Amanda brushed off his concerns. For once, she believed she had found a man who embraced her strength and ambitions. When Ethan proposed during a sunset walk along the Mississippi River, Amanda didn't hesitate to say yes. She believed she had found a partner who truly valued her for who she was. But beneath Ethan's charismatic facade were cracks Amanda was too in love to see, cracks that would soon tear apart the life she thought she had built. What would you do if the person you trusted most turned out to be hiding dark secrets? Amanda's story has only just begun, and what comes next will leave you speechless. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to comment where you're watching from. Stay tuned for the next chapter. A marriage that seemed like a fairy tale quickly revealed cracks hidden beneath the surface. Amanda Turner's love story with Ethan Cole had captured the envy of many. But as the weeks turned into months, the red flags began to emerge. Subtle at first, but impossible to ignore as time went on. It started with small comments, ones that Amanda brushed off as harmless. Ethan, who had once praised Amanda's independence and ambition, began to critique her decisions. "Do you really need to spend so much time on that article?" he'd ask. His tone light but his words cutting. "It's not like anyone remembers these things a month later." Amanda would laugh it off, believing he was just concerned for her workload. But soon, the comments grew more pointed. One evening, as Amanda prepared for a gala hosted by her publication, she chose a striking red gown, a gift from her mother. When she walked out, Ethan's smile faltered. "You look amazing," he said, but then added, "Isn't it a little much? It might give people the wrong impression." Amanda frowned, caught off guard. "What do you mean?" Ethan shrugged. "Nothing. Babe, just thinking it's better to keep things simple. You're naturally beautiful. You don't need all this." Though Amanda forced a smile and changed the subject, the comment lingered. For the first time, she felt self-conscious about her choices, questioning whether she was trying too hard to impress others. Ethan's control began to extend into their finances. Though Amanda had always managed her own accounts, Ethan insisted they open a joint account for convenience. At first, she saw no harm in it. She trusted him. But soon, unexplained withdrawals began to appear. Large sums of money were being used for purchases Ethan hadn't discussed with her: luxury watches, expensive suits, and even a down payment on a sports car. When Amanda confronted him, Ethan waved it off. "Relax, Jess," he said with a grin. "I'm making investments that will benefit us both. Trust me, you'll thank me later." Amanda wanted to believe him, but unease settled in her stomach. The discrepancies became too frequent to ignore. One day, while organizing their bills, she found a statement for a credit card she hadn't authorized, maxed out on lavish expenses she had no part in. When she brought it up, Ethan's tone shifted, his charm replaced by frustration. "Why are you snooping around? Amanda, do you think I don't know how to manage money? You're too naive about how the real world works." Her protests were met with silence. Ethan dismissed her concerns, leaving Amanda feeling increasingly powerless in their marriage. Ethan's behavior didn't stop at finances. He began isolating Amanda from her closest allies. He avoided attending dinners with her parents, claiming they didn't respect him. "They've never liked me," he said one evening, his tone filled with resentment. "Your dad thinks I'm not good enough for you. Why should I sit there and be insulted?" Amanda, torn between loyalty to her husband and her family, began declining invitations to avoid conflict. Her best friend Sophia also noticed the change. "You've been distant," Sophia said during one of their rare coffee meetups. "Is everything okay with Ethan?" Amanda hesitated, then forced a smile. "We've both just been so busy. You know how life gets." But Sophia wasn't convinced. "Amanda, if something's wrong, you can tell me. I'm here for you." Though Amanda nodded, she didn't confide in Sophia. Admitting the truth felt like admitting failure, and she wasn't ready to confront that reality. The pressure continued to mount. Ethan's once charming demeanor gave way to frustration and anger. His criticisms became sharper, his tone more dismissive. "You're too direct," he said after Amanda recounted a tense meeting at work. "People don't like that. It makes you seem aggressive." The word hit Amanda like a slap. For years, she had fought against stereotypes as a black woman in a competitive field, and hearing it from her husband cut deeper than she expected. At home, Ethan's behavior grew more volatile. One evening, after Amanda questioned another unexplained withdrawal from their account, Ethan exploded. "You think you're so much better than me, don't you?" he spat, his voice rising. "You wouldn't even have this life if it weren't for your family's money. You don't know the first thing about struggle." Amanda stood frozen, his words echoing in her mind. The man she had fallen in love with was gone, replaced by someone unrecognizable. Despite everything, Amanda tried to hold on to the belief that their marriage could be saved. She told herself that Ethan was under stress, that things would get better with time. But deep down, she knew the truth. The man who had once supported her dreams and celebrated her success was now the person tearing her down. Late at night, as she lay awake staring at the ceiling, Amanda began to wonder how much more she could endure. The love she once felt for Ethan was overshadowed by fear and doubt. She didn't know it yet, but the tipping point was just around the corner. Amanda Turner's life had become a carefully maintained facade. On the outside, she appeared as the successful journalist and devoted wife, attending lavish parties and living a life others envied. But behind closed doors, the cracks in her marriage were growing too wide to ignore. And it was at the celebration of their second wedding anniversary, in a room full of influential people, that everything came crashing down. Ethan Cole insisted on throwing an extravagant party for their anniversary. He chose one of the city's most exclusive restaurants, reserving a private room and inviting an impressive guest list that included business leaders, investors, and a few of Amanda's colleagues. "This will be a night to remember," Ethan had said, his tone upbeat as he finalized the guest list. Amanda couldn't help but notice how the name skewed toward his professional circle rather than hers. The evening began smoothly, with champagne flowing and laughter echoing through the room. Amanda wore a stunning sapphire blue gown her mother had gifted her, and Ethan looked impeccable in a tailored suit. But there was an unease Amanda couldn't shake, a sense that she was part of a performance Ethan was putting on for his audience. As the night progressed, Ethan commanded the room's attention, recounting his business successes with carefully curated charm. Amanda, seated beside him, felt like a prop, an accessory to bolster his image. When the main course arrived, Ethan turned to Amanda, his voice loud enough for the entire table to hear. "Amanda, you've been awfully quiet tonight. Why don't you share what you've been working on?" Caught off guard, Amanda hesitated before describing her latest investigative piece, which aimed to expose corruption in a major corporation. "That sounds ambitious," Ethan said, his tone dripping with condescension. "But don't you think it's a little risky to take on something so big? Maybe it's time to focus on something less intense. After all, you've got other responsibilities now." Laughter rippled awkwardly around the table, and Amanda's cheeks flushed. She forced a smile, trying to maintain her composure. As dessert was served, a decadent chocolate mousse cake, Ethan leaned over and whispered, "Why don't you handle the bill tonight? It's our anniversary." "After all," Amanda blinked, confused. "Ethan, this was your idea. You planned everything. Why would I pay?" His charming smile faltered, and his tone turned sharp. "Come on, Amanda, you're the one who loves these fancy dinners. It's only fair you contribute." Her voice lowered to a whisper, but it carried a steel edge. "I've contributed more than enough. Ethan, I'm not paying for this." The room grew tense as Ethan's frustration boiled over. His voice, no longer controlled, rose for everyone to hear. "You've always been like this, haven't you? Acting like you're above everyone else because of your family's money." "Well, guess what? That doesn't impress me." Amanda's eyes widened, her heart pounding. She could feel the weight of every gaze in the room, the guests stunned into silence. Ethan's anger reached its peak. He grabbed the chocolate mousse cake from the table and, before Amanda could react, threw it at her. The room gasped as the cake splattered across her gown and face, the once beautiful dessert reduced to a humiliating mess. Amanda sat frozen, the weight of humiliation washing over her. The silence in the room was deafening, broken only by Ethan's venomous words. "You're nothing without your family's name. You think you're so special? You're pathetic." In that moment, something inside Amanda snapped. The years of control, manipulation, and condescension crystallized into a single realization. She couldn't do this anymore. Slowly, she stood, her movements deliberate as she reached for a napkin and wiped the cake from her face. Her voice, when she finally spoke, was calm but firm. "This is over," she said, her words carrying a finality that left no room for argument. Ethan's eyes widened, his face a mixture of disbelief and anger. "What are you talking about? You're not going anywhere." Amanda met his gaze, unflinching. "Watch me." Without another word, she turned and walked out of the room, leaving Ethan and the shattered remains of their relationship behind. Outside the restaurant, Amanda stood beneath the cool night sky, her breath shaky but steadying. She hailed a cab and gave the driver her parents' address. For the first time in years, she felt like she was taking control of her own life. Meanwhile, inside the restaurant, the guests remained silent, processing what they had just witnessed. Ethan attempted to salvage his image, laughing nervously and brushing it off as a little marital spat. But the damage was done. His polished facade had crumbled, exposing the toxic man beneath. As Amanda arrived at her parents' home, still in her cake-stained gown, her mother opened the door, her face etched with concern. "What happened?" she asked, pulling Amanda inside. Amanda hesitated, the events of the evening still raw, but she knew this was the beginning of something new. "I'm done, Mom," she said, her voice steady. "I'm done with him." Her parents embraced her, their support immediate and unwavering. In that moment, Amanda realized she wasn't alone. She had a network of people who loved her, and she would rebuild her life piece by piece. As Amanda Turner began her journey away from Ethan Cole, she found herself navigating a mix of emotions: anger, grief, and an emerging sense of empowerment. What started as a painful break from a toxic marriage soon became a path toward rediscovery. But the secrets she unearthed along the way would change everything. She thought she knew about the man she once loved. Amanda returned to the sanctuary of her parents' home, her sapphire blue gown still stained with remnants of the dessert Ethan had hurled at her. Camille, her mother, wrapped her in a comforting embrace, while her father, Harold, stood by with quiet strength. "You don't have to explain now," Camille said softly. "But whatever it is, we'll face it together." In the warmth of her childhood home, Amanda felt the weight of the years spent trying to hold her marriage together. For the first time, she allowed herself to cry, not just for the pain Ethan had caused, but for the version of herself she had lost along the way. The next morning, Harold introduced Amanda to Monica Blake, a sharp and seasoned attorney known for handling high-profile divorce cases. "From what you've told me, this isn't just a divorce," Monica said after Amanda recounted her story. "This is about reclaiming your life. And if Ethan has crossed any legal lines, we're going to make sure he's held accountable." Monica's confidence was reassuring, but Amanda was unprepared for the truths they would uncover. Monica began by reviewing the financial records Amanda brought with her, including the unexplained withdrawals and the credit card statement she had found. As the investigation deepened, Monica's findings painted a chilling picture. Ethan had been systematically draining their joint accounts to fund his failing business ventures. "He's using your money to cover his losses," Monica explained during their second meeting. "But it doesn't end there. He's also funneled significant amounts into a private account under someone else's name." Amanda's heart sank. "Whose name?" Monica slid a document across the table. The account was linked to a woman named Vanessa Hall, a name Amanda didn't recognize but would soon learn more about. Amanda's investigation into Vanessa revealed her to be a marketing consultant Ethan had hired months before their marriage began to crumble. Vanessa was not only Ethan's business partner, but also his lover, a detail Amanda confirmed after discovering incriminating emails between the two. Reading their exchanges was like reopening a wound. Ethan had been using Amanda's money, not just to fund his failing company, but to provide a lavish lifestyle for Vanessa. The betrayal cut deeper than Amanda expected. "I gave him everything," she confided to Sophia, who had rushed over as soon as Amanda shared the news. "My trust, my support, and he used it to build a life with someone else." Sophia held Amanda's hand tightly. "He doesn't deserve another second of your energy. Amanda, you're stronger than this, and you'll come out of it better than he ever could." Determined to regain control of her narrative, Amanda decided to take a bold step. She would expose Ethan's lies publicly. With Monica's guidance, she prepared a statement addressing her separation, the financial exploitation, and the betrayal. "I won't let him control my story anymore," Amanda told Monica. "If he wants to play dirty, I'll show him I'm not afraid to fight back." Amanda's statement was released through her journalist network, ensuring maximum reach. It wasn't a bitter tirade, but a calm, factual recounting of the events. The media picked it up immediately, and within hours, Ethan's carefully curated image began to crumble. Unsurprisingly, Ethan didn't take Amanda's statement lightly. He launched his own smear campaign, claiming Amanda was fabricating everything to cover up her own shortcomings as a wife. "She's just bitter because she couldn't handle my success," Ethan said in one interview, his words dripping with arrogance. But Amanda refused to be intimidated. With Monica's help, she countered every false claim with documented evidence, including emails, financial records, and testimonies from colleagues who had witnessed Ethan's manipulative behavior firsthand. As Monica dug deeper into Ethan's financial history, an even darker secret came to light. Ethan had not only defrauded Amanda, but had a history of exploiting other women. Vanessa was just the latest in a string of victims. "He's done this before," Monica revealed during a late-night meeting. "There's a pattern here. He charms successful women, gains access to their resources, and leaves them in financial ruin. Amanda was stunned. How has he gotten away with this for so long? Because no one has fought back, Monica said. Until now, with the mounting evidence, Monica helped Amanda file a lawsuit against Ethan, not only for divorce but also for financial fraud. The case attracted widespread attention, shining a spotlight on Ethan's pattern of deceit. Ethan's allies began distancing themselves as more details emerged. Even Vanessa, the woman he had been funneling money to, turned against him when she realized the extent of his lies. Meanwhile, Amanda started to feel a sense of liberation. Though the journey was far from over, each step forward reminded her of the strength she had forgotten she possessed. As Amanda Turner's case against Ethan Cole gained momentum, the facade of his perfect life crumbled under the weight of truth. Amanda, once the silent victim of Ethan's manipulation, now stood as the driving force behind his downfall. However, just as she thought the battle was nearing its conclusion, a shocking twist threatened to derail everything. Amanda's legal team, led by the formidable Monica Blake, had gathered overwhelming evidence of Ethan's financial fraud and emotional abuse. The case had become a media sensation, and Amanda's calm, articulate public statements had garnered her widespread support. In the weeks leading up to the court hearing, Amanda found herself regaining her confidence. She reconnected with friends, revitalized her career, and began to see herself as more than just the woman Ethan had tried to control. "This isn't just about me anymore," Amanda told Monica during one of their strategy meetings. "It's about showing other women that they don't have to stay silent." A week before the court date, Monica received a package at her office, anonymously delivered and marked urgent. Inside were documents that would change the trajectory of the case. The evidence revealed that Ethan had forged Amanda's signature on several financial documents, using her name to secure massive loans. The funds, totaling millions, had been funneled into offshore accounts under the name Vanessa Hall, his mistress. "This is criminal fraud," Monica said, her voice grave. "But it gets worse." Monica handed Amanda another document. It was a prenuptial agreement Ethan had secretly filed, claiming that Amanda had voluntarily signed away rights to her personal assets in the event of a divorce. Amanda's heart sank. "This isn't my signature," she whispered, staring at the paper. Monica nodded. "We'll prove that. But this shows how far he's willing to go to protect himself. He's not just fighting for money. He's trying to destroy your credibility." The courtroom was packed on the day of the hearing. Journalists filled the gallery, their pens poised to capture every detail. Amanda walked in with her parents and Monica by her side, her head held high despite the anxiety churning inside her. Ethan sat at the defendant's table, his expression cold and composed. He glanced at Amanda with a smirk, as if he believed he still held the upper hand. The proceedings began with Monica presenting evidence of Ethan's fraud, including forged documents, unauthorized transactions, and testimonies from financial experts. Each piece of evidence painted a damning picture of Ethan's deceit. When it was Ethan's turn to speak, he leaned heavily on charm and manipulation. "Amanda's accusations are baseless," he said, his voice smooth. "She's bitter because our marriage didn't work out. She's trying to ruin my career out of spite." Amanda felt her hands tremble under the table, but Monica's reassuring glance reminded her to stay composed. When Amanda took the stand, the room fell silent. Her voice was steady, but her words carried the weight of years of pain. "I stayed in this marriage because I believed in compromise," she said. "I thought love meant sacrificing parts of myself to make it work. But Ethan used that belief against me. He manipulated me, isolated me, and exploited my trust, not just as a wife, but as a human being." Monica presented the forged documents, and Amanda firmly denied ever signing them. A handwriting expert confirmed her claim, further discrediting Ethan's story. Then came the twist that shocked everyone. Vanessa Hall, Ethan's mistress, was called to the stand. Vanessa, dressed in understated attire, avoided Ethan's glare as she took the stand. Initially, she appeared reluctant, but under Monica's questioning, the truth poured out. Ethan promised me a future, Vanessa admitted, her voice shaking. He said he was divorcing Amanda because she didn't support his dreams. I believed him. But then I found out he was using me too, using my name to hide money he stole from Amanda. The courtroom buzzed with whispers as Vanessa revealed how Ethan had manipulated her into becoming part of his scheme. He forged Amanda's signature on those loans, Vanessa said, tears streaming down her face. He told me it was all legal, but I didn't know he was lying until it was too late. Ethan's composure finally cracked. His confident smirk disappeared, replaced by a look of panic. He interrupted the proceedings, shouting, "This is a setup! They're all against me." The judge slammed the gavel, restoring order. Ethan's outburst only solidified the image of a desperate man clinging to his lies. Monica delivered her closing statement with precision, emphasizing the irrefutable evidence and the harm Ethan had caused. Ethan Cole is not just a man who made mistakes, she concluded. He is a calculated manipulator who preyed on Amanda Turner's trust, her finances, and her reputation. It's time he faces the consequences. The judge ruled in Amanda's favor on all counts. Ethan was found guilty of fraud, forgery, and emotional abuse. He was ordered to repay the stolen funds, and his assets were frozen pending further investigation. As Ethan was escorted out of the courtroom in handcuffs, Amanda felt a wave of relief wash over her. Justice had been served, but more importantly, she had reclaimed her life. Outside the courthouse, Amanda faced the cameras with calm confidence. "This isn't just my victory," she said. "It's a reminder that no one has to endure manipulation and abuse in silence. You're stronger than you think, and there's always a way out." With the courtroom drama behind her, Amanda Turner stepped into a new chapter of her life. The woman who once felt trapped and powerless had reclaimed her voice, her confidence, and her future. But Amanda knew that her journey wasn't just about personal victory. It was an opportunity to help others find the strength to break free from their own struggles. The first step in Amanda's healing process was rediscovering the parts of herself that had been buried under years of manipulation. She moved into a bright, airy apartment overlooking New Orleans' vibrant French Quarter. The space became a reflection of her newfound independence, filled with books, artwork, and mementos of her journey. Amanda threw herself back into her career, taking on projects she was passionate about. Her investigative journalism, once dulled by Ethan's criticisms, regained its sharp edge. Her first major piece after the divorce exposed a fraudulent charity that preyed on vulnerable communities, earning widespread acclaim. "I let someone silence me for too long," Amanda said during a media interview. "Now, I'm telling stories that matter, and no one will ever take that away from me again." Inspired by her own experiences, Amanda launched a non-profit organization called Reclaim Your Voice, dedicated to supporting women who had faced emotional and financial abuse. The foundation provided legal resources, financial counseling, and empowerment workshops to help women regain control of their lives. At the launch event, Amanda addressed the crowd, her voice steady and powerful. "This foundation is for every woman who has ever felt trapped, who has ever been told she's not enough. You are enough. You deserve respect, freedom, and the chance to rewrite your story." The foundation quickly gained traction, with donations pouring in and volunteers stepping up to support its mission. Amanda's story became a beacon of hope for women around the world. Amanda also made amends with those she had unintentionally distanced herself from during her marriage. Her parents, Camille and Harold, remained her unwavering support system, reminding her of the strength she had always possessed. Sophia, her best friend, became a constant presence in Amanda's life again. Together, they shared laughter over coffee and planned new adventures, rekindling the bond that had been strained by Ethan's control. "You've always been strong, Amanda," Sophia said one evening, "but now you're unstoppable." As Amanda's foundation grew, so did her platform. She was invited to speak at conferences and events, sharing her journey with honesty and vulnerability. Her speeches resonated with audiences, drawing applause and tears in equal measure. "I'm not here to tell you it's easy," Amanda said during one event. "Healing takes time, and it's messy, but I'm here to tell you it's possible. You are not alone." Amanda's authenticity made her a sought-after voice in the conversation about abuse and empowerment. She used her platform not just to inspire, but to advocate for policy changes that would better protect victims. In her personal life, Amanda embraced the freedom to explore new experiences. She traveled to places she had always dreamed of visiting, from the bustling streets of Tokyo to the serene beaches of Santorini. Each destination offered moments of reflection and joy, reminding her of the beauty in life beyond the shadows of her past. Back home, Amanda found joy in the simple things, hosting dinner parties for friends, taking long walks through the city, and curling up with a good book. She learned to love her own company and cherish the independence she had fought so hard to reclaim. Amanda's foundation continued to grow, becoming a lifeline for countless women seeking to rebuild their lives. Her story was featured in magazines and news segments, but Amanda remained grounded, focusing on the work that mattered most, empowering others. One evening, as Amanda stood on the rooftop of her foundation's headquarters during a fundraiser, she looked out at the crowd of supporters, survivors, and allies. A sense of pride swelled within her. "This isn't just about me," as she said in her closing remarks. "It's about all of us, creating a world where every woman knows her worth and no one feels powerless again." As the fundraiser wound down, Amanda found a quiet moment to herself on the balcony. She gazed at the city lights, a glass of wine in hand, and reflected on how far she had come. The scars of her past were still there, but they no longer defined her. She raised her glass to the night sky. "To new beginnings," she whispered, her voice filled with hope and determination. Amanda Turner's journey from betrayal to empowerment had not only transformed her life, but also the lives of countless others. As she moved forward, she reflected on the challenges she had overcome and the strength she had discovered within herself. The woman she saw in the mirror now was no longer a shadow of who she once was. She was a beacon of resilience, ready to embrace the limitless possibilities ahead. Amanda spent the weeks following her foundation's fundraiser, tying up the last remnants of her past. The divorce settlement was finalized, and Ethan's fraudulent activities ensured he faced legal repercussions. "I'm done with that chapter," Amanda confided to Sophia one evening. "It's time to focus on what's ahead, not what's behind me." With the legal battles behind her, Amanda immersed herself in the work that gave her life purpose. Her foundation flourished, receiving recognition for its innovative programs and direct impact on the lives of women seeking freedom from abusive situations. Amanda found joy in rediscovering herself. She began pursuing hobbies she had once set aside, from painting to volunteering at local shelters. She even started writing a memoir, pouring her story into pages that she hoped would inspire others to reclaim their power. "I never thought I'd find peace after everything," Amanda wrote in one chapter. "But the moment I decided to choose myself, I realized peace wasn't something to find. It was something to build." Her travels also became a source of inspiration. From the vibrant markets of Marrakesh to the tranquil fjords of Norway, Amanda embraced the beauty of the world and the lessons it had to offer. One sunny afternoon at a cafe in Paris, Amanda met someone new, a kind, thoughtful man named Daniel, who shared her love for storytelling and helping others. Their conversations were easy, their laughter frequent, and their connection undeniable. But Amanda was in no rush. She had learned to value herself and her independence, and she knew that any future relationship would have to be built on mutual respect and understanding. "Let's see where this goes," she told Daniel with a smile. For the first time in years, Amanda felt truly free to take her time and trust her instincts. Months later, Amanda stood on the stage at an international conference, addressing a packed audience. Her foundation had grown into a global initiative, and her story had become a rallying cry for change. "I'm not a victim of my past," Amanda said, her voice steady and confident. "I'm the architect of my future, and so are you. No matter where you are in life, you have the power to rewrite your story." The crowd erupted in applause, and Amanda felt a wave of pride. She had turned her pain into purpose, creating a legacy that would outlast her. That evening, Amanda returned to her apartment, the city lights twinkling beyond her balcony. She poured herself a glass of wine and stepped outside, the cool breeze brushing against her skin. She thought of the woman she had been when she first met Ethan, bright-eyed but unsure of her worth. And she thought of the woman she had become, strong, confident, and unapologetically herself. Amanda raised her glass to the night sky, a quiet smile on her lips. "Here's to every woman who's found her strength," she whispered. "And here's to the ones who are still searching. You'll get there." Amanda's story has shown us that no matter how dark the journey, there's always light at the end. If her resilience inspired you, like this video, share it with someone who might need hope, and subscribe to our channel for more uplifting stories. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from, and thank you for being part of this journey with us. Together, we can keep spreading strength and inspiration.